Good morning, it's 8 a.m. and in our promise to make sure we have a breakfast in and out by 9, we want to start promptly and run our program. My name is Peter Bourne. I'm a former member of the KQR's morning crew, and I'm wearing my Purple Gang jersey, or not jersey, but my Purple Gang coat, which is an homage to the Purple People Eaters. I did a lot of morning show bits that involved the Vikings in the past. And I will share some other stories as we go forward, but we want to get things happening right now. And I'd like to, as we start all events, all good events, as we stand up, I'd like to introduce Ben Utek to sing our national anthem. Please rise.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner and wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ben Utek, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Before introducing our next speaker, I just want you to know how much a privilege it is for me to speak with you and MC part of this event. We all have our time and our place with these legends that sit amongst us. I believe we have a total of 16 NFL players here. Is that about right, John? 16 legends with us tonight, this morning. One particular memory comes to mind is my personal experience as growing up with one of 3 boys in Southwest Minneapolis. Going to elementary school, there was an initiative called the Presidential Physical Fitness Awards. For some, it was fearful to try to go through that. I did it all 6 years of my elementary years, but the thing that was most important was year 1. A 6-year-old boy was called up into the gymnasium being presented his award. Little did I know that living across the street from Armitage Elementary School was a hotshot player who had a big heart and said, "I'll come and present." So in 1972, I received my first Presidential Physical Fitness Award for Mr. Stu Voigt. Thank you, Stu. And now it's my pleasure to welcome the board chair for the 30-Day Foundation. From our friends at 21st Century, please welcome Mr. John Bennett.
Vikings Lakes. My name is John Bennett. I'm with 21st Century Bank, Senior Vice President. I'm also board chair. I'm looking out over a great group of people, and man, don't you all look so wonderful and beautiful today. Thanks for coming. I can't help but notice there's a few rookies in the room. And by that I mean, you're probably seeing the Vikings Lakes for the first time. or you're getting to hear about the 30-Day Foundation for the first time, which I'm very glad to hear because it's a wonderful organization. It's been in existence for a long time. Mick's going to talk more about that. But I would also like to recognize that as long as we've got as many rookies in the room as we do, we have a number of very talented, seasoned, professional NFL players which are at your table today, helping us get this launched. And if you don't mind, I'd like to have them stand and be recognized. You know who the legends are. Please stand. Our guests of honor. It's now my pleasure to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, Mick Sterling. He's a singer-songwriter, Minnesota's own. He's a legend of his own right here in the Twin Cities music scene. He's also a member of the Hall of Fame of Minnesota Blues Society, singer-songwriter, founder of the 30 Days Foundation. My pleasure to introduce to you this morning, Mr. Mick Sterling.
Welcome. My name is Mick Sterling. I am a musician. Everything that happened that's good to me is because I'm a musician. And this charity came from my local notoriety. And this is really the first time that we've been able to really feature this charity. In all of the years, 12 years, I started this charity in 2011. Karen Sobel, where are you? Karen Sobel, right there. Karen Sobel and I, you see Karen, had lunch at Redstone, the old Redstone in Minnetonka by Ridgedale. And I said, I have this idea for a charity. And they both said, that's a really good idea. And they both wrote a check for $300. And that's how it wasn't even called the 30 Days Foundation. It was just a charity idea. I called it the 30 Days Foundation. I put it out on MySpace. Remember MySpace? The rickshaw of the internet, ladies and gentlemen. And the first request that I received was from a woman, and she messaged on MySpace and said, and asked for a series of things that culminated to $1,500. And one of the things was her Sprint phone bill for $78.94. And I had just started the charity. I think we had like $500, and then we couldn't do $1,500, but it was the first request that I received. And so I read it, and my policy was I don't want to call people, but since it was the first one, I called this woman, and I saw the request. I used the card to pay her Sprint phone bill for $78.94, and called her and said, and I'm talking just like very calmly. I go, I got your request, and we can't do everything. We just started, but we just paid your Sprint phone bill for $78.94. I hope it helps. And she starts sobbing. Child, I can't understand you sobbing for at least 10 minutes. And when she composed herself, she said, I can't tell anybody. I'm so ashamed. And I can't even believe that I can't pay my phone bill. It's not even $100. I can't even pay it. And we just had this amazing conversation. And after we hung up, I just went, this is significant. $78.94 is not that much money in the grand scheme of things. But when you don't have $78.94 to pay your phone bill, it may be $7,894. It doesn't matter, you don't have it. And when you shut your phone off, all the ripple effect things, that's what happens. That's what the 30 Days Foundation does. And since 2011, because people have assisted our efforts, we're over 110,000 grants that we've made across the state of Minnesota. So what happens is, there was a couple of years, I worked with Loaves and Fishes, with Kathy Mays of Loaves and Fishes, and our board chair, John Bennett, would come down in his three-piece suit, working in in St. Paul, and he would help me serve the homeless at the old Dorothy Day Center. We did lunches. 40 below, 110 degrees, it didn't matter. We got food from Chipotle and Holiday, and as much as I love Mike Loney, who runs Leanne Chin's, if I smelled Leanne Chin's in my car one more time, I might gag. I had tons of Leanne Chin's food that was donated, and it was beautiful. And we went down there, and the last time that we were there, it was a very pivotal day, because at the end of the day, someone felt disrespected. It was very dangerous. People got out of hand. I had volunteers there. I had to stop it. But literally that same day, 2 hours before, I'm looking outside at the people that are there, about 250 people that are always there. Some people are just going to be sadly homeless. I don't think they're ever going to not be homeless. But there are some people that are brand new. And I thought to myself, why are all of these people here? What's the reason that all these people are in front of this food truck at the old Dorothy Day Center? And I realized that the common denominator out of all those different stories is the first thing happened. Something happened. Maybe a different something, but it's the first. The first thing happened that made them unable to pay the second thing, and the third thing, and the fourth thing, and the fifth thing. And folks, let me tell you something. As long as I've been doing this, when you are in double-digit I can't pay things, you're pretty much done. I don't care how savvy you are. I don't care how much self-esteem or gumption you have. If you're in double digits, you're in big trouble. People don't start out immediately in poverty. They don't start out immediately homeless. They start over here because something happened. They couldn't pay their car bill. They couldn't pay their phone bill. They couldn't pay their heat bill. So things mount up. That's what we do. That's the unique thing about the 30 Days Foundation. That's what we do. We have programs that we have created in this charity. One of them is called Keep the Key. It is a way to help people stay in their apartment, stay in their rental unit, making deals with the landlords. They don't want to kick people out. They really don't. The vast majority of people really like their tenants, and the hassle it takes to kick people out, they don't want to do that. So when we reached them and said, can we do something, they were grateful just to have some payment come. Whether it was $100 or $200, it was something. It gave them a little more time. We have a program called Energized that assists people that need help with their phone bill, their water bill, their XL Energy bill, their Centerport Energy bill. We've done hundreds and hundreds of those. And that's an amazing donation for us. Recently, and you're going to hear from a speaker a little bit later, we've been doing a lot of recovery and sober house deposits, partial deposits, to get people a chance to heal. It's very, very difficult to go sober without some assistance. And if you can't get into a place, it just makes it almost impossible to get better. Now, will it work? I don't know. And you don't know either. But what we do know is that if you can't get at least in a place to get help, it's almost impossible to get help. That program is called Some Hope. It is a $7 recurring monthly donation specifically set aside for recovery and sober house deposits. We have a program called Kind Works, where if people are having trouble paying their prescription because their insurance went out and they didn't know. I had that with my boy Tucker. When he was a little boy and he had terrible asthma, and sometimes I go there and something changed the insurance, and instead of a $5 payment, all of a sudden it's $250. What am I going to do? My son can't breathe. I got to pay $250. That's not what I expected. So the Kind Works does that. The 30 Days Foundation, because we have been around as long as we have, we're really getting into some interesting partnerships. One that we're very excited about is that we are part of the network of the Unite Us network of charities across the state. This network provides us an opportunity to spread the word about the 30 Days Foundation all around the state, to to advocates who can reach us for help. If we can help them, we would love to help them. If we can't, we'll tell them we can't, but we might be able to be instrumental in helping them in some way. That's a big, big thing for us. We are a statewide charity, but we're based in the Twin Cities. But we get help, we help everybody around the state, and also in western Wisconsin just recently. My friends from Susan G. Komen, now where are you, Susan G. Komen people? There you are, right there. We are very honored to recently partner with them. They do wonderful work, and they take care of the big stuff, but their patients, their people need assistance with bills when they're going through all of this stuff. And we are very excited to work with the Susan G. Komen Foundation. We're very, very excited about that. My partner, John Scott. Where are you, John Scott? John Scott and Matt Hayes. Nick Sterling presents. So much of this stuff stems from Chart House Live. Stu Voigt and Linda are come to see my shows at Chart House Live, and this is how all of this started. Very organically, very quickly. Thank you, Stu Voigt. Shows benefit the 30 Days Foundation. The 30 Days Foundation is mentioned. And I also want to thank our friends from Blaze Credit Union, Dan Stoltz and Jim Ganger, and for being a sponsor of over 200 Next 30% shows. It's an amazing thing. I really should have brought my glasses up here. Oh, I do have them, because I have a schedule here and I'm trying to keep to it. But this is like gibberish without my glasses. I want to thank all of you for coming. On behalf of my beautiful and talented wife, Kate, who's been with us almost since the beginning of this thing, and everybody that helps, please know that what you're doing here today, if you can make a donation, it works. Sometimes it's $50. Everybody doesn't need everything. In the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of people that need everything. But percentage-wise, it's very, very, very thin. One thing can change the trajectory. That's what the 30 Days Foundation does. It is an honor to have all these Minnesota Viking legends here to help us, and it's an honor to have all of you here. Thank you for taking the time. I'm honored to lead the 30 Days Foundation, and I'm honored you're here. Thank you very much. As I said, Stu Voigt sees my shows at Chart House Live and in Lakeville. George, are you here? George Maverick? Is George Maverick here? Owner of Chart House Live. So I told Stu I got an idea, and John and I sat down and we said, can we do this? And Stu said yes. And that's all I needed to hear, because I knew if Stu said yes, things get done. So ladies and gentlemen, for the next portion of this event, I would like to introduce you my dear friend, thankfully my dear friend, that I just recently met a couple years ago, the one and only Mr. Stu Voigt, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, everybody. Glad you're here. Special thanks to Tracy McDonald and Bob Hagan, Tom West, all the people from the Vikings. I know where the term herding cats come when you try to get all these guys in a room, but we did it. We got a lot of guys take time out of their day to help celebrate this great charity, but also celebrate an unsung hero, I'd call him. Dennis Ryan started with the Vikings probably 1975, 1976. He endeared the name Midway Dennis because he was always running. This grand operation the Vikings have now was not this grand operation in 1975. We shared the Met Stadium with the Twins, couldn't get in there until they were done. We practiced over at Midway Stadium in St. Paul, and Dennis was serving under Jim Stubby Eason at the time. And he's always running back and forth, kind of a whirling dervish, and he kept that up for many, many, many years. And you see this grand operation as the Minnesota Vikings now. It wasn't like that all the time. We were having training camps in Mankato. You'll travel on the road 10, 12 times a year to set up in different stadiums. And Dennis did it all seamlessly. And I think it showed with the product the Vikings have consistently put on the field over the years. He is the unsung hero, did it. He's the first guy you'd see in the morning when you got to practice. The last guy, when you left, he was still there working. If you're going to make team planes and unpack and pack, this was all done by Dennis Ryan. Very innovative, talking to Mark Mullaney, that when you see these plastic shields they use over the eyes on your helmets, that's something that Dennis helped Mark get so he can stay on the field and play after having an eye injury. So an unsung hero, but not unsung or unforgotten by the players. All you guys know the things he would do to make life a little easier if you play professional football. It's a tough job. It's a grind. It goes on for ever and ever, but Dennis was always there, smile on his face, and he certainly deserves this award. So, Dennis, come on up. This is called the Essential Training Award, presented to Dennis Ryan. Pretty good award. I just heard it. I'm used to getting awards. As I said, this is something well deserved by Dennis. And talked to the players today, and we came up with another little gift that maybe you can put in your trophy case, maybe not, but your own personalized. You gave us a lot of support. This is for all the support you gave the Minnesota Vikings and the players in the room. I don't know where you hang it. This is Bob Burt, some of his old apparatus. The good news is, never bench warmer Bob, didn't see a lot of game action. And now, Dennis, you're the owner. Dennis Ryan, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you, Stu, for your kind words, and thank you, Nick, for the recognition. In 47 years on the job, I never really felt unsung. I was fortunate to have the opportunity to work alongside all these Viking players. I love every minute of it. You know, they're not only legends, they're all really good guys. Everyone in this room today. And I'm going to also have to thank my wife, Laura, unsung hero, who was really behind the scenes and allowed me to enjoy this long career that I did have with the Minnesota Vikings.
It's an impressive jockstrap. Actually, never followed a jockstrap before. That was an interesting thing. I thought, what a special thing this is, a magnet for all of us attending to meet these Minnesota Viking legends, and a counter magnet for all of these Minnesota Vikings who honor an essential champion behind the scenes, quiet, silent, and kind gentleman that Dennis Ryan certainly is. Dennis, what you don't know is that you and I have met. I was an early AM UPS driver.